All right. Welcome to another stream. This is a post convention um post COVID stream. I dude, thanks man. Yeah, you will never guess that I got COVID last last week. What happened to my camera settings? It looked okay. Anyway, dude, 60 months? I need to turn this music down. This music's too lit. Um Dude, 60 months. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I went to Lodi Comic Con and then I got COVID and then my wife got COVID. So all of last week was just us struggling. And then I had Fanime, which was a 4-day convention. So that had to deal with that. And so now I'm once again on the back foot with my work just because like I could anyway, you guys know how it is with COVID. So yeah, but I'm feeling better now. Um, as Post Malone says. Okay. Lodi was good. Lodi Comic Con, um, Lodi Comic Con and Fanime Con were both they were good shows, but numbers are definitely down. Like you could feel that people were not throwing money as recklessly as they normally do at conventions. Because when you go to a convention, you just assume everyone just they're there to splurge and right, but it's not what happened. So numbers are down in general across the board for all artists, but for me it was still a good show. Like objectively, relative to previous years, not great. um Vince, you're about to hit the road to California? Shit. Well, enjoy that drive. Driving, right? Not flying. Yeah, I like was just feeling better in time to go to Fanime. Like the day before Fanime, I started like I was able to start moving around. Um, but the weekend, the 4 days that I was gone for Fanime, I had to come home at night so I can take care of my wife because she had COVID. She needs my help for everything anyway. So for her to have COVID was just like, yeah. No joke. You're afraid to go out in public places. You feel like every time you go to public event, it's been getting worse every time. I mean, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's just everybody's just like fuck it. I'd rather get sick than get locked up again. That's what everyone's. That's the vibe, right? That's everybody. So, fun thing. I'm in the process of rebuilding or excuse me, shuffling around the office. So, I think this will be the last live stream that we have with this current setup, and then yeah. So then next week will be cool. Taking it a little bit more seriously. Okay. So, um, can you guys see that? Okay. Need me to brighten it up. I used my camera for something else, so I actually forgot what my settings were. We'll just leave it like that. It'll be fine. Um, hey man, thanks for the look. Thanks for the sub, everybody. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you should shoot me a sub. Anyway, okay, so now everything's out of the way. Welcome to the stream. We have quite a few commissions. I have this I have this Berserk commission that's almost done. I want to darken it up a little bit. It looks nice. We're not going to really change anything. We just need to darken it up. I have a War Greymon, which this was a graphite, and then I have, I believe, 3 Copic marker commissions to do. I haven't done a Copic marker commission in a while, so we'll do this first and darken up the guts. So a majority of this drawing was done with a 4H, a 2B, and a mechanical pencil. So really kind of light graphites. We're gonna go a little darker. I have a 9 somewhere here. So unorganized. I have been on an office purge. Vince, how long is that drive? Last time you came, Vince in the chat over there is my IRL brother. 27. Fuck. Yeah, as soon as you get into town, just let me know. I have been on like a crazy office purge. Oh, God, so my shit is so unorganized. I've been on this crazy office purge. I've just been selling off old equipment that I've gathered over the years, just chucking it on eBay, just getting rid of everything. And it's feeling really good. But I still have like there's like a printer in my office. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? You had to cover 6th grade classroom today. 6th grade is I imagine that's kind of tricky because they're not like little kids anymore. They have started to develop attitudes, right? And personalities. So we're gonna use this 9B to darken up areas, but I'm not going to blend it in. We're just gonna just add an extra like layer, a little coat of darkness. So Vince, on your drive, where do you like to make your stop? Because you got to stop somewhere. I mean, like younger us would have shotgun that whole trip in one go, but like, you know what I mean? Denver, then Vegas, then home. Okay. They're vaping already? Shit. That's crazy. But I mean, like, real talk, when we were younger, kids were smoking cigarettes, right? You know what the thing is? It's probably not probably, it is. It's much easier as a kid to get away with vaping than it is smoking a cigarette or smoking weed. Cause like it's the lingering of it. If you were in middle school, you're smoking cigarettes, um, you have a parent that cares, they'll catch it. You can't hide that smell. That's a very distinct smell. Weed's even worse. But a vape, you could just be like, I was drinking some Kool-Aid earlier. I was drinking some, uh, you know, uh, you have a weird smell because I just ate an apple or something. It's like, wait a minute, kids are vaping. What are they vaping? They got rid of all the good flavors here in California. And if any of your those students have access to some good fruity flavors, you gotta give me one of their phone numbers or something so I can get a hold of who they're getting it through. Because my vape finally died. Actually, Vince there in the chat. Um, he gave me a vape for my birthday, which was a month ago, and I just finished it. Like I finally died, and it's just been torturous because you guys know I have like an oral fixation when I work. I'm always need to be like eating or I don't like chewing gum because it makes my stomach hurt. Um, so like vaping, that nicotine, that act keeps me going while I work, and now I don't have anything, and I guess I have to just be a healthy, responsible adult for what that's worth. They caught at school, dude. I have no idea, but I remember when I was in sixth grade, your friends were already buying weed through their siblings. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you're never gonna stop. You're never gonna stop young people from, like underage drinking. Like that's always gonna be a thing. Underage smoking and like, and then as they go into high school, they'll start messing with like the harder stuff, right? Just because they start going to parties or whatever. Um, but in regards to what I'm saying is like it's just easier to get away with vaping because it doesn't require a light. It doesn't set off smoke alarm. Well, you can. I have a funny story about that. Vince, you remember that? Uh, you could set off a smoke alarm with enough vape, but you know what I mean? Like, I bet because I vape while I'm at a convention. I'll just stick my head under the table and just, you know. I imagine the kids just vaping to their backpack. What are the teachers gonna do? Anyway, oof. So what is the policy? Well, not policy. What is the real life way of handling kids and their cell phones? I didn't set off the smoke alarm. I didn't set it off. So we were at a Yu-Gi-Oh. We were at a Yu-Gi-Oh event, a tournament, and staying at a really nice hotel. Um, and I wasn't staying in the room that our buddy was staying in. But this was after the tournament at night. Everyone went out and we were just doing our thing, and he stayed behind. He was in the room just vaping up a storm, and apparently he vaped so much that like it set off the alarm. And I have vaped a lot. Like I've been in a hotel room with multiple people who are vaping at once, and we've never set anything off. This means this guy, he must have been like going at it. He must have been trying to set it off. Anyway, I wasn't part of that particular room share, but we all kind of went together. But there's too many of us to fit in one room. All I know is they got charged like 200 bucks. I'm like, damn, that sucks. But you did it. Yeah. And I don't actually like working on traditional art commissions when I'm sick. It's something that I like before COVID I didn't really think about it, right? Because you get a cold, you're just like whatever. But then I realized when I'm like sick like that, I don't like to do any cuz I don't want to get like stuff on the artwork. That's one of the reasons I fell behind on my commissions. I got to hit the road. All right, dude. You be careful out there, man. Oh shit, hold on. I got to Whew, I almost messed this all up. Hold on. There's a convention sign up. And I don't know if it is Eastern time or Pacific Standard Time. So, oh my, I almost fucked that all up. Okay, hold on, give me a second. Okay, applications open tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's 5:30 my time, which means oh my god, those things about to open in like 15 minutes. Okay. Okay, well, in about 15 minutes, I guess I'm going to be filling out an application. All right. Hold on. They just sent me an email. God damn it. I knew there was a reason. I was just like, why am I not streaming today? Like, why am I waiting to stream? Like, let's just get going. Let's just do it. This is why. All right, my bad. Let's just hang out for the next like 10 minutes while I sort while I sort all this out. You can look at the guts drawing. Well, we're gonna do War Greymon next. That one I'm looking forward to. Hey, they finally Twitch finally changed the icon for art. The art what do you call it? Um category. Cuz when you stream you have to choose a category for, where you're going to stream. Um they have every individual game, but then if you're just drawing there's just like art. YouTube doesn't even have that. After all this time, YouTube doesn't even have a section art or drawing. Anyway, all right. My God. Okay. I have to prep some stuff for this application. So just hang out with me. Any way to get into the Discord? Um yeah, let me make a new link. Every time I make a link, uh, whoops. Every time I make a link, it like expires. So I'm going to make one right now. Let me know if that works. Welcome everyone. I I in a few minutes I have to sign up for a convention and I totally forgot. So I was just like otherwise I would have waited to start the stream. Okay. Seems pretty straightforward. Oh, the link works. Thank God. Before when I would try to make a link to the Discord, I would hit copy on the Discord page and then it would basically copy the fact that it says link copied. Does that make sense? So if I pasted it, it would say link copied. And it was just like I couldn't get it to work. Must have been just an error on their end because guess what? I did the exact same thing right now and it's fixed. Um okay. I have to make like a text document for this so I could copy paste. Ah, my bad everyone. I mean, yeah. What? Come on. I can you guys believe that it's Friday already? Yeah, I'm feeling like much better, but my my draw time has been really bad this week. Just playing catch up on everything. Okay. So I'm filling out an application to a convention right now, right? Or I'm prepping for it. So um it's best to open up like a Word document and type out what you're gonna put into the application, so you can just copy and paste it. Trying to type it into the actual application is so risky because what if something happens? Like you try and move forward and like you have to refresh the page, you gotta fill it out again. And if it's like a time sensitive application, you're like boning yourself, right? So So let me take care of this. Yeah, and it's so crazy because it's just like this is it's a pretty sensitive um like process, right? To do one of these applications. But the difference between it's the difference between adding like five figures to your yearly income. Do you know? You know what I'm saying? Like if you just so happen to accidentally forget to fill out the application, or if like there was a glitch, or if you had to like go to the bathroom or something, or if they just like didn't look at your application, you know, it can erase like 4 or 5 digits of income from your yearly. Like that's the downside of being convention artist is crazy. So like, all right, we got 4 minutes. So last year, I missed out doing two conventions near the end of the year just because like weather kept me from flying out there, and that combined, those two shows, probably close to 12 to 15 thousand dollars. Um, could have been more because that was pre-tariff era, if there was ever such a thing, and that's back when people were spending a little bit more freely than they are now. So just missing those two shows made a huge dent because that's a lot. And I was just like, because the weather just one day was like, yeah, it's just not gonna work. And it's not like I can just drive to New York, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. All right, we got 3 minutes left. So it's one of the reasons I really really need to get the channel back up and running. But it's like every time I get something fucking going. So I do appreciate everyone who has been commissioning me lately. They've been really fun too, and I promise we'll get working on the commissions once I fill out these application this application. Man, they have a lot of stipulations here about what you can and can't put into the application. So this application is actually only open for 30 minutes, which is that's tight. So that's what I'm saying. If you're trying to fill out the application, so it's only open for 30 minutes. So if you're trying to fill out the application after it goes live and you're just like on this time crunch, that's bad news. Okay, we got 1 minute, and then I promise we will get started on these commissions. No, 1 minute. Fill out the app, and then we'll start on the commissions. We've been streaming for half an hour. I ain't got a goddamn thing done yet. Hey, we got those stream hours. I did apply for TwitchCon, and I really hope we get in because I've put in some good hours this year so far. Not like full time quantities, but it was the Pokemon project that gave us a lot of hours. All right, 30 seconds. It opens. I'm gonna leave the chat for a second while I do this. All right, here we go. See, now we're just copy pasting everything. Welcome everyone. I'm filling out an important application right now that I totally forgot I had to do. Otherwise, I would have waited to start the stream. Uh Running into a snafu here. Hey, there we go. All right, everyone. My bad. That was for MagFest, big gaming event. Okay, so my bad, everyone. I had to fill out that application. I completely forgot about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have started the stream, this early. I would have done that first and then started the stream. So now, 40 minutes deep. Welcome to the stream. Over in the YouTube chat, asking if I still do conventions. I do. I do as many cons as I can get into. And that's not as many as it used to be. Absolutely not as many as it used to be. Okay. Stay organized. Jesus. Okay, can we get go? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I'm just like, this is what my whole day is like every day, where I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna sit down and draw. We're gonna stream like right now. I was just like, okay, we're just gonna sit down and stream, and then we're gonna draw live on stream. And then something happens where I have to like fill out that fucking application. That's like what that's like what my whole every single second of my life is, where I'm just like, okay, I want to study this thing. I want to play some guitar. I want to do that. And then it's just like, well, you can't. You got to go and get this other thing if you want to be able to fucking like pay your rent. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And I know that's just part of being an adult. Okay. But my point is, that's some bullshit. I should be able to, I should be able to. Like, how is it I'm my own boss? How am I my own boss and I'm not in control of anything that's going on? All right, this guts drawing is done. Okay. All right, so we have this War Greymon drawing that we're gonna do. Dog gets sick. Car needs to get worked on. You can't go anywhere because you got to sign up because applications for this con open and whatever in the middle of the fucking day. Like I do, and I think I've spoken on this before. I do to some degree. Envy's not the right word. I do sometimes miss clocking in and clocking out somewhere. I've been doing this for so long. There's like I can't even remember really what it felt like to be able to uh clock out from a job and then just leave it and then just like go just like the day belongs to you, right? Again, I'm not complaining. It's just like nobody here is complaining about anything. It's just because I would still prefer to do what I'm doing. But sometimes I'm just like, man, what was that like? Like just clocking out. All right, cool. I'm gonna go do my own thing. Everyone fucking leave me alone. you know? Cause like I have some buddies. Uh, so okay, earlier you asked about that Magic the Gathering event, right? Um, that I'm gonna go to in a couple of weeks in Las Vegas. Um, and it's just kind of like imagine just like getting days off of work and then just going to a Magic the Gathering event for like 4 days and just chilling and not thinking about anything. I'm gonna go and enjoy myself because I'm gonna be with my friends, my boys. But every second that I'm there, there is always gonna be that thing. And I think this is true for everyone who's, running their own business and you know, doing stuff. But it's just like, man, uh I I've been feeling it I think a lot more lately. Where that part of me is just like, boy, it'd be sweet to clock out. Now I played a I can't remember, was it yesterday? Or the day before? I did play a video game for like 5 hours, which is like super uncommon for me, right? But I was just because I was like so tired. And in that 5 hours, when I was done, I looked at my pile of like things I have to do, and I was just like, I felt so bad because I was like, I felt so bad because I knew that because I knew I was being super irresponsible. And in my head, it's not one of those like you should feel guilty thing. It wasn't that. It was just the literal, oh my god, I have now like quadrupled my work for tomorrow. you know? Anyway, I'm so happy we got that application done for MagFest. MagFest is one of my favorite events in general. If you guys don't know what MagFest is, so if you guys are just joining, what I did was applied for an artist alley table at MagFest, which is always near the beginning of the year. So I think it's like January like 8th. It's 4 days. It's a 24-hour show, which means you if you have somebody with you, you could tag team and sell at the table for 4 days nonstop. I'm talking about like nonstop. And so just by just by sheer hours, you'll make a lot of money at that show just through sheer volume of sale hours. Like the odds of having someone buy stuff is just really high. So that's why it's a really good, it's a safe, like a safe investment kind of show. Um, I've always said that if I could pick one event, one convention to go to as an attendee, with like a bunch of my buddies for like a weekend, or God forbid, 4 whole days, um, I've always said it's Magfest. That's the show that I would want to go party and like get fucked up and play video games. They have open arcades all 4 days, and it just runs nonstop. Open arcade nonstop for 4 days. Like as fun as Anime Expo is, I just think Magfest is peak. Oh, I actually have an OC. I have two OC commissions to do. I've totally forgot about those. Shit. All right. So whatever we have going on today, it's plus two. Burp. The hell? Hmm. Hope everyone's Friday is going well. I made his head a little big. By the way, Stream Elements has messed up my alert box again. So I think I'm pretty done with Stream Elements. This whole thing is not happy with how this is looking. It sucks. What a waste of paper. Hold on. All right, so this is definitely gonna look a lot better. This pose. I think I used to have a toy that it was like I think the toy it was an Agumon, and then you could like transform it into a War Greymon, like a Warp Digivolve. God, I gotta find that thing. It's gonna be at my parents' house, but like nostalgia. Oh, speaking of which, so to I went to my parents' house, and they're doing a bit of spring cleaning, the same thing as I'm over here cleaning out my office, right? Found a stash of my old Beyblades. This was my main Beyblade. Oop, the old school one, the plastic one. If for those who don't keep up with Beyblades, they have the newer style Beyblades like literally explode once they take a certain amount of damage. Like they're spring loaded so that when they're fighting each other, whichever one takes the most damage, it's designed to fall apart, like in the show, minus the dragons and stuff. Yeah, oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, Digimon's so much fun. I think Digimon's fun because there's like with Pokemon, they're just like fuzzy creatures with googly eyes, right? They're just like basic shapes with googly eyes. With Digimon, you have to have a good understanding of like you could apply, how do you say, you could apply more knowledge to when you're drawing Digimon. Like, um, for example, I drew a Mechanorimon not too long ago, and there was a lot of perspective work. It's just a simple drawing. You're just sitting down eating. It was just a simple drawing. Um, but there was a lot more like thought and effort that I was able to put into that drawing than, let's say, somebody commissioned me to draw a Squirtle or something. So I think that's why Digimon are more fun to draw. Plus, you know, they're just like they're more powerful, so you can put them in better, more fun poses and stuff. Sending good vibes to my brother Vincent, who is going on a 20, I think 7. He said 27-hour drive, um, to California. Mm. Super intense, hyped up Beyblade tournament at a hotel venue. From my understanding, Beyblade is still like it's like still a thing outside the US. Similar to oh shit, what is it called? Oh isn't Yokai Watch still popular outside the US? Who here remembers Yokai Watch? That's what it was called, right? Okay, so you guys know I have a huge backlog of movies and anime to catch up on, right? For years it's been really piling up. Um Last week, no, week before, um the wife and I made a point to sit down and have a movie night. Happens once a year. We watched a back to back. Um, there's a movie called Teeth from 2007. One of my favorite movies, like of all time. I just think it's really well made. It was one of the first movies I had ever rented from Blockbuster, like on my own, with my own membership, with my own money. And there was this one summer because I graduated high school in 2006. So there was this one summer where I was getting super deep into horror movies. So I would go to my Blockbuster, which was like one block from where I lived, and they had a thing on like Tuesdays. I can't remember what the exact deal was, but you could rent like fucking five movies for like super cheap if it was like a Tuesday. Um, so I would get all these foreign, a lot of them were Japanese horror movies, and most of them sucked, right? Um, but they were interesting. And one of the movies that I came across was called Teeth. Um, yeah, just Google Teeth 2007. Great movie. Anyway, I've been wanting to share that movie with my wife for a long time, so she enjoyed it. We finished that movie, and then we proceeded to watch a movie that came out pretty recently called Bad Hair. I wasn't aware, like I chose we chose these movies because it was like I chose Teeth, she chose Bad Hair. I didn't realize how similar they were gonna be in regards to like it focuses on um the horror aspect of it, of each of the movie comes from like a body part, right? And how like society views and wants you to treat that particular body part. And it was totally unplanned, but those movies are so similar to each other. And Teeth is an example of how to do it well, while Bad Hair is an example of how to fucking do it completely horribly. That movie is so bad. Anyway, my point is I've crossed the movie off the list. Um so what is that? In the span of 1 month, I crossed off The Substance, and Bad Hair, and I was able to cross off Teeth from my list of movies to show my wife. So that's three movies in the span of 1 month crossed off. That's pretty good for me. Godzilla minus one. Yeah, Teeth 2007. Um, I need Godzilla minus one is next on my watch list. There's nothing else. Like there are other movies, but that one is at the very top of what's of next time I have some free time. The next time I give myself a movie night, that is 100% the movie. I'm sure if you read the synopsis, you'd be like, what the fuck? Hey, what's going on? Do I still sell at conventions? I do. Somebody in the YouTube chat asked me that earlier, and I said yes. I do still sell at conventions, yeah. I don't vlog anymore, but I still sell. Just because I'm not vlogging doesn't mean I don't still sell at them, yeah. You should still vlog. You know what? Anytime somebody says that I should still vlog, that means a lot to me. Like, honestly, because, like, it, I put so much work into those videos, and I know they're really old. I know it's been a long time. But I put so much work into those, and it was very, very personal. So when people say you should keep doing it, I really appreciate that. Like, that does mean a lot to me. The reason I don't anymore is because it's at a point where there's just nothing left to talk about. I don't have, if I have something to say, I'll make a video. If that means there's a 3 year break or something between them, then that's just how it is. I don't want to keep on vlogging them. Just peek behind the curtain. I've recorded a lot of stuff. I have been recording videos since 2000, since 2022. I probably have easily like 10 conventions worth of footage that I've shot. And it just got to the point where there was just nothing interesting happening, and I just didn't feel like there was anything left to say. And I didn't want to just make stuff to just put stuff out, because then it's just like, what's, like, there's so much other like pointless content out there. Um and for me, I'm just, I have 2 episodes, like, I put the Magfest 2024, was it, episode out on a secret playlist. Um but that one was also pretty boring. It was nothing. It was just nothing. Um anyway, so the reason I don't anymore is because, as like a, I've just have nothing left to say. I've mastered that craft, and said what I needed to say. And now there's a new wave of younger artists who are vlogging, and I support them. I always like Molcana and Sticker Zoo. I always go to their videos. I don't watch their videos, but like, I go to their videos. I give them a like, and I leave, just because to show some support. But I'm not gonna sit there and watch that shit because it's all the same, and that's my point. Um, they're cool people. They're the homies, and again, I support what they do. But at the end of the day, you've seen one of their videos, you've seen them all. And that's how my videos are starting to turn. And I don't want that. Yeah, I don't. I've only watched a couple other videos here and there, but I always make sure I give them a like. Uh, Especially Mokana. I like Mokana's videos. Out of all the Artist Alley vlogs that are out these days, she has my favorite ones. But yeah. But anyway, again, I always appreciate when people say that. I was at an Artist Alley. It was last year. It was yeah, okay. It was 2024 in Hawaii, so it was KawaiiCon, and I was tabled next to somebody who liked what I did, and yeah, they basically said the same thing. You should put more out, and I said, well, I mean, if I have something interesting, then of course I will. If there's something interesting, and her exact phrasing was, and this is just my personal thing. Her exact phrasing was, well, you should just release it anyway, get that content out there. And I was just like, oh god, I'm gonna throw up. But what are you gonna say, right? Am I gonna be like, you stupid bitch? No, what am I gonna do? It was somebody who was showing appreciation, and you got to be, that's like amazing, right? But at the same time, so I kind of like I don't want to be rude. I don't want, yeah. So I guess I can make a blanket statement right now. Anyone who has ever watched those videos in the past means like the world to me, and I appreciate all of you. There was a period of time where there was a period of time where I really, really thought that I was going to be able to make YouTube work for me in regards to being like a full time vlogger, right? And those videos was just kind of like how I was going to do it. Because at the time it was a really unique thing because not a lot of people or anybody was doing it at the time. Um, and then at one day I realized there's a certain personality that you need to really, 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 be able to make YouTube your full time thing, and it just wasn't mine. So that's why you saw there's like a shift. I think around like episode 70 ish, there was a shift in the tone of the videos where it became less like like YouTubey and became a lot more personal. Because I realized that I was not going to be able to make it my full time gig just because it's just not, there's like that YouTube personality, and it's just not me. It's not how I speak and how I am. Um, yeah. So and there was a huge drop off in views. I don't know if I've ever talked about this in analytics and views around that time, around give or take episode 70 ish. There was a big shift in the tone of the videos where they became a lot more personal because I knew that I couldn't make the YouTube I couldn't become a full time vlogger as my job because like I mentioned. So the views actually started dipping around that point, and then it went from I want to be a full time vlogger and this is how I'm gonna do it. This really unique artist alley thing because at the time no one was doing it. To having that realization, to shifting it to just making stuff for myself and my friends and the few viewers that I had. And when the views tanked, it then became I'm making something. I just want to make something that's important to me. And if there's nothing important, so I don't think I've ever talked about that, but that's kind of where the shift went with that. Um, are you still planning on going to the Magic event? I am. I'm going to a Magic the Gathering event, convention in Las Vegas in like 2 weeks. Not going as an artist. I'm going. I'm going as like a normal human being. I've considered. I considered vlogging it just for the shit of just having fun, just like not like a series, just like just just for fun because that will be the first time I will. Because in my head I was like, this will be the first time I'll be attending an event as a normal human being, not as an artist, not trying to hustle, not trying to get something from somebody. You know what I mean? Just I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just going to chill, right? And I was just like, some lazy vlogging would be really fun, right? But it would have to be something stupid. Like it would have to be something fun, not just like, "Hey, I'm at the event, guys. So we're in line, and uh here's what's going on today." Like, can't be doing that. It has to be something fun. You ever watch a Conan O'Brien remote? When we have any Conan fans here? You ever? I've always wanted to make like a funny, a fucking stupid funny video. Um, I've just never had the like situation for it to happen. Uh, just like going to a convention and just being like, not like an irritating dumbass like these TikTok people, you know, throwing like Cheerios and milk on people. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just like real humor, going and just like having fun and making jokes and yeah. So anyway, yeah, I will be at that Magic the Gathering event in Las Vegas in June. Um, I'll be going as a normal human being, not as an artist. Even though, I mean, come on, you, I say I'm gonna turn it off, but you can never really turn it off, right? I know. Here's the thing, I know that at that Magic event they're gonna have Magic artists, the card artists there, and I'm 1,000,000% I'm gonna go talk to them and pick their brain. It's just like, how deep into that conversation am I gonna get, right? Like, am I gonna end up just sitting at the artist table area the entire time, or am I actually gonna go meet up with my buddies and actually go play Magic? Because they're releasing the Final Fantasy Magic cards. Because Magic the Gathering does a shit ton of like crossover stuff. I mean, it's been out for 75 years, so of course they're gonna have like, I know they have SpongeBob cards. They have Hatsune Miku uh Magic the Gathering cards. Post Malone has a one of a kind um Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering card. If I had Post Malone's money, I'd be doing the same thing. I'll be doing the exact same thing. I would have got. Let's see, if I. Oh yeah, so my my buddy, so Vincent, the one in the chat who's driving to California right now, he got me this card for my birthday. It's the Post Malone card. It's called Post Son of Rich. because he knows I love Posty. So yeah, that's near mint too. We'll just sit him right here. You can watch over the stream. I'm gonna put him in defense mode. All right, so real talk. My buddy built me this deck. Okay, I've been sifting through it for like weeks, but it's a commander deck, which means that there's only one copy of every card in here, right? And I cannot fucking learn this deck. I have to be able to coherently use this deck in like within 2 weeks. And because it's so much, because I'm not a hardcore Magic player, I'm new, right? So I'm just so, no matter how many times I go through it or I shadow play, you just make a scenario, right? I just can't think of what to do because there's so many. I'm like overwhelmed. I don't know why he thought that this was a good fucking idea. Here's a 100 card deck. Every card's different. Good luck. Like, what the fuck? Because I used to be a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player. That's a 40 card deck, and usually, real talk, you're only running like 15 different cards because you're running 3 copies of everything. Like everything you run is broken, and you run 3 copies of all of it. So that's how slow and smooth my brain is when it comes to cards. But he's just like, here's this deck. It's 100 cards. So it's dope. But man, I cannot. My proficiency at this is not going up because I can, it's like too much. Do we have any Magic players here? Oh, it's Friday Night Magic. Welcome everyone. So yeah. So I had downloaded Magic Arena some time ago, and I'm just running a fucking a straight up beatdown deck in that game. And then of course, just like Yu-Gi-Oh, I just run multiple copies of of all the things that I like. Basically, it's like things that have heavy attack, things that are really heavy and sturdy, and then things that make the deck go faster. Yeah, the artwork in Magic is amazing. Early Yu-Gi-Oh, early Yu-Gi-Oh artwork used to lean a bit more into that painterly style that Magic basically, is Magic. And I think the reason it's so, because like a lot of people don't like that Yu-Gi-Oh artwork, card artwork has shifted into just like super kawaii, I'm just like, look, Yu-Gi-Oh is always kind of like its destiny was to go that way because you can't have overly painterly style in Yu-Gi-Oh because then it's going to be too much like Magic. Like Card Fight Vanguard, like Pokemon, they're Pokemon, so you can do anything with that. But something like Card Fight Vanguard, it was like straight anime. Like looks like screenshots from an anime, right? Well, kind of was. Um Same thing with Dragon Ball. It's just stills from Dragon Ball. So with Yu-Gi-Oh, I like the direction that they're going, where everything looks like either a robot dragon or an anime or a VTuber. um, but it's just kind of that's like their only choice. It's like the only way, only place they can go. Why do I keep drawing his head like super big? That's what messed me up on the last drawing. Anyway, so I'm very excited about the Magic the Gathering event. My first Magic the Gathering anything. So I haven't even like I've been in a card shop during Friday Night Magic, but I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, I've been in many a card shops, um, but I've never been there specifically for Magic. And now I'm going. Never been to like playing at a locals, and I'm going to this huge event. So I'm very excited about it. Another thing that I'm excited about is like we have the hotel that's like right next to the event too, so that makes me really happy. Um, when it comes to conventions, one of the things that like if I go to a convention as an attendee ever, one of the things I never want to deal with is a line. Because no, as I've always gone to conventions as an artist, so I've never had to wait in line for anything. I've had to kind of wait in line a little bit if another artist was in front of me, but it's nothing. That's just like okay, I'll sit here for like 30 seconds, then just cut the line, right? I could not go to like an anime expo and stand outside for fucking 6 hours. Okay. You know what would be cool? You know when they go into the internet and the line art turns red? Let's do that. Yeah, in my Digimon print, I use red line art for that. Yeah, choosing a color on your line art makes such a huge difference. You guys see me fiending over here? Gonna take like a hit of like a vape or something. Horrible. Oral fixation, horrible. Oh shit. Damn it. Yeah, that's fine. So I want to give a big thank you to everybody who has haven't been around streaming a lot lately. Life, all that stuff. Uh, but a lot of people have stuck around, you know, commissioning me. A lot of back-to-back commissions, which is crazy, which I appreciate. Like you don't understand how much I appreciate it. Fucking Malcolm, 60 months, 60 months of subs. Yeah, got new people on the Patreon. Oh, by the way, the Patreon cards are not yet on the way because I had to get a new PO box because the Persian guy who was in charge of the PO box that I was using. I've been with this dude. I've been with this facility for like 7 years, right? 7, 6 years for this PO box. I've been with them for so long, and he wants to. He raised my essentially my PO box rent because you got to pay. He raised it. I'm not gonna say by how much, but it was basic almost double what it was, and I'm just like, tariffs ain't affecting your fucking PO box. Like, I was probably affecting everything, but to pass that kind of cost down to somebody who's renting a PO box, which by the way, I've been with you for so long, like you couldn't. I'm not asking for like a little discount or anything, be fair. But I was just like, nah, you crazy. So the reason why the Patreon cards haven't gone out yet is because I'm still shopping around for a new PO box, and I haven't been able to really go out to find one in a nice area that I trust. Because when you don't want to just you want to I don't want to get a PO box at like some shithole because like I just this is important stuff, right? It's not like if a normal person is just getting stuff from Amazon, right? This is like work stuff, sometimes sensitive materials. I don't want like a shitty facility for my PO box. At the same time, I don't want it at an official post office because their hours suck. So I need to find like a nice. Basically, I need to go to where all the white people live. Get a PO box over there. Uh, when you stopped smoking cigarettes, cigarettes. Oh, I have cigarettes. I bought a pack um like 3 weeks ago, and then I never really finished it because I'm not like a heavy smoker anymore. Like I'll smoke. For the most part, I don't smoke at all. But like if I go to a convention and I need to pick up or whatever, and I had a pack that I picked up at Lodi. Where'd it go? Oh, it's in my bag. I can go have a cigarette right now. I'm a grown man. I can go do that right now if I wanted to. But we have a show right now. We're doing a show. So let's hold off on that. I'm going to do it. It's not going to do it right now. Welcome to Vices. Welcome to Horrible Vices the show. So, did you quit for any reason other than you just health wise, lifestyle wise? Is that the main reason? Or was it like I can't be smelled like a cigarette at work kind of thing? Dude, I wonder. I'm sure we can Google it, but I thought it is expensive in California. I remember pre-COVID, I was in New York, and I believe a pack of Camel Crush cost me $19. This is pre-COVID. What? I need to see how much is a. Uh, okay, they say the average price in New York right now is 14.99, which is actually not that bad. But they're talking average price, so they're probably talking about like Newports and shit. You pay that camel tax. It's probably $20. I mean, I hate to say it, but them getting rid of menthols has definitely made it a lot easier to quit. Like the thing that really got me to quit was when my wife got sick, and I couldn't, I just didn't have the mental capacity or the time to smoke. And that's what really that's 100% like really got me to quit or stop being such a regular smoker, right? Um, but the fact that they just like I have Lucky Strikes, which is my second favorite. Um, but that's like it's my second favorite only because it's like the best of the crap options that we have left. Uh, and one of the things that keeps me from really like I have a pack and I forgot about it. That's how little interest I have in it until you brought it up. So I'm blaming you. No, it's because it's just not as good. Were you a menthol smoker? I think everybody was, right? But yeah, so it's like without that, it made it really. I was just like, well, this isn't even that good. You know what the problem is? My dad goes to the he goes to the Indian casinos, and they can sell menthols because you know how the Indian casinos they have their own. They're not beholden to the U.S. like the general federal government laws, right? They just do whatever the fuck they want. Yeah. So if you go to like Table Mountain or the Tachi Palace Casino or whatever, you can go get menthols. But my dad said they're like $17. I was just like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna buy some spaghettios and some ramen with a month of ramen. Oh man, yeah. When my wife and I first got together, we were Marlboro Reds, and then we switched over to Marlboro Menthol Lights, and then we discovered Camel Crush, which is like the white college girl cigarette, which to this day I'll argue is still the best cigarette. Just regular Camel Crush. It's to me that is still the best. Um, yeah, but yeah, those Reds, do. Have you ever smoked the black ones? Welcome to Chris's cigarette lung cancer stream. uh, yeah, I went I went with my wife, girlfriend at the time, to go visit her family in Arkansas, and I met like one of her old buddies, and he was smoking Marlboro Blacks, and I'd never smoked one before, and it felt like smoking. It felt like while you're smoking it, it just felt like a harsh cigarette. It wasn't anything crazy. When you finished the stick, it felt like you got through a whole. It felt like you just smoked like a whole Black and Mild. It was fucking crazy. You're like, Yeah, those people from the South, because it was in Arkansas. So they live with dip in their mouth all day, right? Like they're a different breed out there. Yeah, the Marlboro Black, that flavor always stuck with me because I had never smoked one before, and I ain't never smoked one since. Fun times though, right? So much money. Fun times, so much money. How did I meet my wife? Oh, that's a good question. On Tinder. Um, yeah, I was in a different era of my life at the time. Yeah, because she's from, so we went, or we're in California, and she had just moved into the state from um, the South, and so she just like just got on the app, and I had been on the app like shenanigans, right? What is a what does a reasonably fit uh good looking dude do in his 20s when he's on Tinder, right? uh those were the days, but no, we met on there, and then we just went out on a date, and then I just didn't need the app anymore. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, I'm I've been back in the gym this whole week, and thank you, by the way. I've been back in the gym this whole week, because my, as you get older, you start having a lot of health issues. I've had sleep apnea since I was 13 years old. I have slept like a cumulative, over the past 30 years. I've slept a cumulative of like 4 weeks, right? Or I've accumulated like 3 weeks of REM sleep over the past 3 decades, right? Uh, so I I definitely have been taking, because with my wife, we were taking big steps with her to get her better. So that's changing foods and getting rid of preservatives and just anything that can help reduce, her reoccurrence and just kind of get her strong again. But over the course of like 2 years that we've been trying to take care of her, Papa's been doing kind of bad for himself. Papa's been getting sick. I'm getting fat. I've been in the gym. I have been growing a lot. All right. So I'm in this place where I'm trying to get my shit together now. Okay. I've I've given I've given everything. Now it's my turn to get my shit back together. So I've been in the gym every day this week, and I gotta get control over certain things because I have one of the things I've been really worried about, and I don't know how old people are here in the chat, um, but I have huge family history of diabetes, both sides of my family, mom, and I have Filipino parents. It's like having, like, if you're Mexican and your parents are like native from Mexico, then your family line just has diabetes in it. That's just that's just how it is. Okay, so uh, you got to be careful when you get older. So that's one of the things I'm very being very careful about. It's such a cliche to say this, but you ever watch videos where people go to like retirement homes or whatever. And I know I'm so far from being this old. Okay, I'm not trying to say I am, but I can understand it now. My point is, you ever see videos where people go into retirement homes and they start asking the old people about like life regrets or life advice, right? And when the old people always say, somebody there always says, take care of your health because when you get older, it's the only thing you're gonna have. And as I'm starting to get older, I'm just like, yes, that is 100% true. I don't care how, because you guys know I used to go super hard in my 20s. No sleep, cigarettes, fucking half my money went up my nose, like horrible, horrible things. And now that that's all gone, minus that one pack of cigarettes I have hidden, um, I do overall just feel like incredible compared to that. I'm tired all the time because I still work a lot, but I can imagine as you get older, what you have to do in order to keep that level of feeling good. Does that make sense? Where I was just like, the older you get, the harder it's going to be to feel good. So, if I have advice to the young people there, it's cliche, but goddamn, if you really, your health is like super duper. It's something that you really, really should try to preserve at a young age. No, for real. Yeah, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. Because like no matter what you want to do, no matter what you decide to do at whatever age, like let's say you want to join a band or you want to start traveling or you want to start streaming or vlogging or you know what I mean, like, or you want to learn a new language or you want to go back to school or you want to go on like want to marathon a bunch of anime. Everything you do is improved if your overall health is better. Like your enjoyment of things. If even if you want to go out and like go to a concert with your friends, right? You don't want to tap out after like 2 hours, right? It's just like everything that you do in life is like the enjoyment of everything is amplified if you're healthy. And I can't believe that me of all people saying this. You could sleep when you're dead. Gotta hustle. But with the way the economy is now, you kind of have to. No, all jokes aside. But I think you understand the sentiment of what I'm saying more than yeah. Anyway, yo, how's it going, dude? I haven't seen you in forever. Even though, can you believe it's been like a week since Fanime already? It feels like we just got home. I bet. So I am going to a Magic the Gathering convention. All right, hold on. I have to take my dog out real quick. She's having like she's having like stomach issues, so I have to my wife just texted me. She said I gotta take her out. So I'm gonna continue with this story when I get back. It has to do with fanime. All right, so 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Had to take the dog out. And I mean, since I was taking the dog out, I mean, may as well have a cigarette, right? Anyway, what were we talking about? Uh oh yeah. So you said you're tired from Fanime. And okay, so I'm going to a Magic the Gathering um convention, not as an artist, just as a normal human being. Uh in a couple of weeks. And I'm really looking forward to it. And one of the things I'm thinking about is it's going to be so fun to be at a show and just enjoy everything. Um and I can't imagine how tired I'm going to be. So like by the end of Fanime, you know how you said you were like fucking beat on like the third and fourth day of Fanime when people were walking around, I would ask them, have you been here the whole weekend and are you tired? And everyone just looks so wiped out, but wiped out in like a good way. You ever see like people the day after like a music festival? Everyone's just so wiped, but they look good. Everyone's wiped, but they look good. You know, the difference between wiped from work and then wiped from leisure. And I look forward to finally having that wiped out from leisure look because I haven't had that in like years. Appreciate you stopping by the table, by the way. Is it way more tiring on the seller side? It's kind of like mentally tiring when you have to keep your energy up all the time because you're putting on a show like the whole time, right? Because like whenever somebody is, that's what makes streaming so tiring. I know it's easy to be like, well, you're just sitting there like talking to people, and that's true, but at the same time, you're almost putting on a show, right? Like if you're like no matter how bad a stream is going or like an interview or something, you never want to be like giving negative energy. So like when I'm at the table, no matter how I'm feeling, you have to convey to the attendee that you're high energy and that you're having a good time, that you love being there, even though a lot of the times you're not. uh, and do that for multiple days. I guess I guess there's a lot of jobs like that. Like uh, anything customer service, I guess, is similar. It's mentally exhausting to smile like that. Smile through your teeth. Hold on. Okay. You streamed for about a year during COVID after work. Some days you just couldn't bring the energy. Yeah, especially if you you had your work beforehand. Now, can you imagine if you well, I mean, like, and everybody's skill set will be different. Some people just aren't able to draw and talk at the same time. That's definitely something that you have to practice and develop. Imagine if you're playing like a competitive shooting game. Your brain is like you are firing off. Your brain is just like super focused and lasered in, but you're somehow able to like interact with a chat, right? With conventions, okay, I'll say this about conventions and excuse me, tabling as an artist at conventions. What's going on around and before the convention is like 90% of what determines my energy level at the show. So if I had like a lot of commission work or I didn't sleep a lot cuz I was usually because I'm working on other projects leading up to the con. There's a lot of people who do con crunch where they have to press a bunch of pins or print a bunch of stickers and cut them out and stuff. That like your essentially your preparation, what you do leading up to the show plays a much bigger part in how uh your con is going to be, your energy levels at the con are going to be more than the con itself. Like if you didn't do a goddamn thing and you just rolled out of bed and went to a con after just like chilling for like 3 days, that con's going to be easy. It's easy. So, I kind of take back a little bit of what I said. It's hard to keep your energy high, of course, but I think it is the stuff leading up to the con that affects things the most. Oh yeah, when you walk around, the thing is like, oh, figuring out the ideal setup because everybody's gonna have their own. like what works best for them based on their products. It took me so long to figure out my like something that will allow me to put my big prints in front of me, but that I could also break down because I fit everything into two suitcases. Uh, and I also there are some people who have different setups for when they fly versus when they drive. I just wanted one setup, one universal setup. I didn't want to have to deal with, oh, this is my flight setup, and then this is my driving setup. Yeah. So it took, it's gonna sound crazy, it took years to figure it out. I need to get those wings sorted out. Or his back shield. We'll sort that out later. Let me we'll just clean this up a little bit. We're not gonna 100% take out all the pencils because I actually think it looks kind of nice when there's a bit of scribbly pencil sketch work underneath it. But we'll clean up just a little bit. Yeah, so because I only deal with art prints, it's pretty easy for me. And again, I only have 9 different prints in 2 different sizes, so I only have 18 products. Can you imagine some of these artists, they have like 50 different prints? It's just like, what are you just gonna carry like 5 of each, right? I just bring like 200 of everything because I'll never get rid of 200 of everything, right? Um, I mean, certain cons you can, but like, yeah. So, obviously, I bring more of like the Pokemon and the Dragon Ball and stuff. But like, so can you imagine some of those artists who have those crazy setups where they have like 50, 100 different prints, and how many are you gonna bring of each? Honestly, such a more power to everyone who has to manage that stuff. But fuck that. Uh, well, going to the arts, seeing the different approaches to merch. Gotta head out. All right, yo, thanks for coming through. Yeah, I think I saw a notice that you hooked up on the Patreon too. Which, if you did, that's crazy. Thank you. Oh, in the YouTube chat, greetings from. Oh wow, I can't even see Kazakhstan. Hey, starting to get double vision. I'm actually using not a Copic marker. I'm using an Olo marker. Back when Olo was getting started, um, they sent out some free markers, and they behave. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, all alcohol markers are kind of the same, the way they behave. Like alcohol markers are great compared to other markers, but when you could start comparing, alcohol markers to other alcohol markers, they're all kind of the same. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, Copic keeps sending me stuff. It's all good. Uh, am I listening to anything good at the moment? I just have a bunch of music on shuffle. I have my music inventory on shuffle right now. Um, but if you're talking about like, have I found anything new? No, I haven't found any new music in a while. Don't really have time. Don't really have time. What about all of you? Any good music hunting? Let me see what I have a refill for. Let's see. I can use E13 for his body. And then probably E11. No, that's. Yeah, I probably have to be E11 for his armor. Because I don't have refills for other stuff. So. Trying to figure out what color I want to use for his armor. I know. We can go full saturated colors. Okay. Y15. We can go full saturated colors. And then I'll do a single pass over it using I was okay, well I'll just use full saturated colors. And then I'll do a full pass over it with the goat of all colors, which is BV. No, what is it? BV2, not 20, BV2 3. The best Copic marker ever produced. Have I heard of Cream? No, I haven't. You know what makes it hard? Whoa. Got a raid. Hello, everyone. Thank you for that. You know what's keeping me from finding new music? Um I don't stream music. I have local music. So I can never go on, like, on Spotify or especially SoundCloud. You can let it just go on its own and eventually it'll take you to something cool eventually. I'm always listening to local music. So I don't even give myself the opportunity to hear new things. I appreciate that raid, by the way. Okay, hold on. So let's see, what is it? Was it Cream? I will I will look up some songs. Uh, I was gonna say I'll look up some songs when the stream is done. Interstellar. You do that too, dude. I screenshot. Okay, there is music. Okay, this is how I find new music. When I go to the gym, I go to Planet Fitness, so they have like the TVs up there, and they always show what's playing. Or if I hear something, I'll SoundCloud it, like if I'm at the airport, and or I'll SoundHound it, and then I screenshot it, and then I just never follow up with those screenshots. That's what my problem is. I'm 5 seconds into Interstellar. I already like it, but I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it for when I'm off stream, so I could like listen to it. If I just play it while I'm talking, I'm not gonna get into it. So it's the active reload way of filling up Copics. Noon, how's it going though? Did your package ever get to you? So, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, I'm in this weird transitional phase of getting a new PO box because the PO box that I've been with tried to raise the rates. They didn't try. They raised the rates really bad, and I'm just like, I had to dip. Motherfucker he almost doubled the rate in a year, and I'm just like, what is this? So I'm in this place where I hope none of the packages that I've sent out over the past like 2 weeks get sent back because they got nowhere to come back to. Hey man, books are expensive. When I was on my was it I think it was early last year, I was on this big book kick and I was dumping like hundreds of dollars like that. And you know me, I don't have hundreds of dollars like like that. So, I don't blame you. But I'm also one of those people. I need physical book. I can't read like a fucking PDF. Yeah. When you set up the PO box, did you get them a backup address? Yes, I did. Like when you sign up, you have to give them your current address. Yeah. So hopefully it gets like forwarded to that or something. But you know, it, you can't rely. I just don't. I just can't rely on shipping. I can't rely on the post office. They've been so bad lately. Yeah. Um, like my wife has a like a Kindle membership, and I bought her I think it's called. They're just called Kindles, right? They don't have like a name. Yeah. Anyway, I got her one of those, and she reads on that motherfucker all the time, and I'm like, I could not read. I can't. Like, maybe something fiction is different, but I actually don't. I don't read fiction. I read like instructional books. You know, uh, art books, right? I can't do it digital. I need it in my hand. So I'll see here just like on this on this pad reading. I'm like, that's cool. That's more power to you. But I'm just like, I couldn't do that. I could not. It's the same reason I can't use a digital planner. I have a paper planner. But yeah, books are expensive. But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not too long from now books are going to be difficult to get. I hate the thought of that. That is a horrible thought. But I mean, like within all of our lifetimes, you could see it, right? You could see that being a thing. I mean, we've already lost. We've lost. I mean, we're already losing physical media, right? What makes books immune to that? It's gonna be like Waterworld soon. Paper. I've got paper. Oh, come on. They just don't want you owning anything. The future. Oh, okay. So I had an AI conversation at Fanime. So I was at my table. When you're tabling at a convention, you're always going to come across people on the other side of the table who are artists who are interested in becoming artists. And without fail, there's always that person who's just like, yeah, I want to get into art, but with AI, I was just kind of like, what's the point? And I'm like, you're already not going to make it. I don't say that to them because you want to be positive, but if the threat of AI is already going to make you, is going to stop you before you even get in the door. It's going to stop you at the thought without any execution. You weren't going to make it anyway. But so uh, anyway, I had somebody who wasn't um they weren't put off about the idea of AI, but they were curious about like how has it been affecting the conventions. And I was telling them, yeah, there's always somebody here who's whatever. And I was like, telling them how when I was walking around, I felt like I saw certain pieces that looked AI generated, and they were just curious about the convention scene. And then they were asking if if I feel like it's going to affect traditional artists, and I told them I was just I told them, well, it may not directly affect traditional artists, but I've already lost work because of AI. And I had to describe to them. You guys remember I used to do work with DeviantArt, and then they switched over to a whole AI thing and got rid of all of us. Uh, so I didn't realize. I'm like, huh. I'm not worried about AI so much because I've already lost a job because of it like 2 years ago. So I think I've just accepted it. There are other people who maybe haven't quite felt the hit yet, who are still dreading it. I've I'm so far past it because I've already I've lost my job for. Like my point is like I've already felt the sting of it. So I'm just like whatever, dude. I don't go fuck. But there are a lot of people who are still like maybe they haven't quite directly felt it yet. And right now they just live in the shadow of the looming threat. like so my point is like when it just like I just realized it this weekend that that person who was coming by, they were concerned so much, like they hadn't even started their art career yet and they're already so concerned. They weren't put off, but they were concerned about it. And I was just like, why don't I give a shit? I'm like, oh, that's right, it already took my gerb, it already did it once. Took my gerb. Man, what's up? Oh, that's funny. That artist, it, yeah, it just happens to have that. You know what's really popular that AI loves to scrub is that dark, semi-realistic anime art style. That's what AI really loves to scrub. So if your native style is that, pff, that sucks, dude. Like even if your catalog, if your backlog of artwork, your catalog of art from like the past like 10 years looks like that, if somebody sees it now, they're gonna be like trash. Mad, what's going on, dude? Yeah, so you make a good point about that. Yeah, just it's just what my art looks like. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Oh, cool story, bro. Do you know what phrase I hate? I'm sure. What a fucking passive aggressive like way to speak to somebody. I'm sure. I know that's a random, but I don't know why they just came to my head right now. There are just certain phrases that just like I'm just like what why are you even talking to me? Like just don't if you disagree or you don't like me that much, let's just stop this conversation right now. Like why you gotta be like that? I'm sure. That's dead. Well, I have a lot of dead pens. That sucks. So we're gonna hit this with like a full saturated pass of colors because normally I work with like little washed out colors. And then we're gonna go over it with a gray. It's called grayish lavender, BV23, I believe. Um, the best Copic color like ever produced. Um, it it works fantastic as just like if you're doing hard cell shading, but you don't want to just do like a dark version of that particular color. You want to like do like a hue shift or something. It's like perfect. And here, I'll show you when we get around to it. So if the colors are looking a little weird right now, it's because I'm planning to hit it with that shade and it's gonna look hella good. Watch. You think I'm sure it could be one of those things someone says when they agree with you will want you to continue? Okay, everything in context, but in the context of saying, I'm sure. That's the context, and I'm just like, fuck you. just just say let's stop talking. Just say it's dope. And then after we hit it with the cell shaded gray lavender, we'll go back over it with the red multiliner and then clean up the line art and add in some line weight. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. or oh god. We're not gonna get into this. It's gonna make me go all crazy. When someone asks you a question and then you give them an answer and then they just like don't listen to your answer, just like why? Why did you waste my time asking this fucking question? Or I'm just tripping and I just don't know how to converse with humans. Could always be it too. It's your but you know what I'm saying though, right? It's just like if you didn't give a damn what I had to say, you shouldn't have asked me to say it. Oh my god, I have a memory right now. Okay, so it was one of my early conventions. Yeah, it was one of my early conventions. Uh and I was doing like Copic commissions at the table and this girl came up and she asked me where I get my Copics from. And so she came to my table and I didn't have the crazy setup I have now. I think this was pre Pokemon, pre drawing every Pokemon or something like that. It was around that time. And I get my markers from a place called Otaku Fuel. It's just an online shop. I don't know if well, I used to. Nowadays, I get my stuff directly from Copic because they send me shit. But back then, that's where I was buying it. And she came up and asked, "Where do you get your Copics?" I said, "Oh, it's from this website, Otaku Fuel. It's pretty good. Even if we're in California, it's free shipping, so like they're pretty quick. Um, that's what I would recommend." And then she just rolled her eyes and said, "I'm sure." Like, I remember that. Oh man, that like that memory is imprinted on me, and I totally forgot about it until now. What a bitch. I hope her art career has gone nowhere. No, I'm just kidding. You just had some lemongrass tea with honey. Oh, that sounds hella good. That does sound good, but I'm not gonna lie. So you guys, like I mentioned earlier, I had COVID last week, and arguably still kind of have like some taste issues. But I was drinking a bunch of tea last week, and I'm not gonna lie, as good as that sounds that you just described, I could pass on some tea right now. I'm good. Had too much of it. It got to the point where I was just drinking hot lemon water with salt because I was so over tea. We had an elderberry tea. So So my graphics card is idling really high. I'm using it to stream to Twitch right now, and then I'm CPU streaming to YouTube. But um, it's a gigabyte card, which means it probably needs to be repasted. And there's this part of me that's just like, if I try to repaste this thing, I'm gonna fuck it up so bad. uh, but that's kind of like next on my to-do list of like maintenance around the office. Um, it's idling at 55 degrees. So anyway, one day I'm just gonna have a GPU and be happy and peaceful with it. But is today is not that day. What? That's not. Huh. That color is a lot darker than I remember it. Well, that works. War Greymon is coming out sick. Ready for a friend. Have to commission more Digimon. Digimon, please. Anybody, command COMM, command com. If anyone wants to commission me for anything, I swear to God, commission me for Digimon stuff. So my wife isn't feeling well, but she knows work is work. I have to at least finish this. When I finish this War Greymon, I will be probably calling it on the stream because I have to go take care of her. Um, no, I don't have to. I want to. Anyway, I don't know where all that came from. So yeah, as much as I want to stay on it and work on all the commissions we have, like always, that was the plan, and like always, that's not what happened. Dude, I fucking appreciate all that. I know how times are right now. We all know, like we're all fucking grown ass adults. We all know what how things are out there. So every time somebody comes in and like subs or commissions me or whatever, don't think, okay, I know that I always start a train of thought and then it leads me into something else, but this is very, very relevant. Somebody came by the artist alley table at Fanime this weekend, and she was wanting to commission somebody to do some VTube rigging uh for her. I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's not what I do, but you could find somebody here, right?" And then she was just like, "Oh, I hope so, because if I can't find anybody here, then I'm like gonna be shit out of luck." I was like, "What are you talking about? You could just email." I was like, "You could just DM somebody that you find online." So she gave me this whole story about her friend is a big time artist. She didn't drop the name, but apparently we're talking hundreds of thousands of followers, and she makes VTube stuff. I don't know if she does the rigging on it or just fan art, whatever. But her friend is so popular that she gets so many DMs for commissions. She complains about it. How do I deal with all these people wanting to give me money for my artwork? And it was because of her friend. Uh, it was because of her friend complaining about the DMs that that girl who was looking to get to commission somebody is choosing not to DM artists um about the commission. So let me say that again in case you didn't follow along. This girl wants to commission an artist to do her V2 rig, but she doesn't want to message artists online because she thinks it's rude because she has a friend who's a big time artist who gets so much requests that she told her friend, "My God, this is how do I deal with all this?" And I'm just like, I told her I was just like, and every artist would be happy to get a request to do something, especially like V2. And she looked at me and she didn't say it, but her face basically said, "I'm sure." That's what that shit was. It's like that one chick I told you about when I was at the night market who was like almost gonna cry. Business is going so well. It's like overwhelming. I cry at night. Like, dude, if your business went down, would you just kill yourself? Like, what would you do? Like, this is how you're acting to with. This is how you're reacting to success. I feel like, I feel like you don't know what failure tastes like. If that's how you're responding to success, I'm just like, would your brain just melt? Would there just be like nothing but your shoes and a puddle left on the floor? You've raw DM so many art. That's what you're supposed to do. You see somebody, they put their artwork online, and then if you like what they do, you're just like, hey, I'm gonna hit them up because maybe I like what they do. I'm not strong enough to carry the weight of all this success. The the only people who speak like that are people who have never failed in life. And that's cool. That's good life. You don't want to wish a hard life on anybody, right? But at the same time, fuck you. Anyway, so my point back to my point is back to my point is um we all know how it is out there. So everyone who has stuck around on these streams or Jags visited me at my table, you know, Noon hooks it up. Uh so it's just kind of like I don't know, man. Like I'm so grateful for that already. And to just think that there's somebody there's a how am I the same species as this person? Oh, the I have to take I have to take a mental health break so I can so I can catalog all this all this mental anguish of being so successful. You've had some weird hustles before to make ends meet, but it makes you stronger as a person. Yeah, it totally does. It does. So that's why I'm saying how anyone who cries about their success. Anyway, everybody's different. I'm not gonna talk shit on somebody's life because I don't know what somebody's life is like. But if that's how you act to success, I have an idea of what your life and your personality's like. Anyway, that I think that is and noon. That girl I'm talking about who was crying about her success, that happened at that night market. That last one. I mean, that was like years ago, but like that last one that we were at. Anyway. Oh my god. I just ugh. If I ever get like that, I want you guys to like I want you guys to like hack my fucking Patreon and just like get rid of everything. Just like I want you to like I want you to let's start like going online and telling people I was saying some like racist shit. Just ruin my if I ever get like that, just ruin my career because I don't deserve it. You know what I mean? Just fucking- used to be about the music. All right, so I have the BV23, which is the Copic marker that I said is the best marker in the entire Copic line. So I'm just using it to add a layer of like shadow to everything. And then we'll go back over everything with a multi-liner to clean up the line art, add in some line weight. You know that same thing we always do. The final touch. Is this a humble brag? I once uh I once room split with somebody at a convention who they were having some issues. They didn't have issues. They weren't they weren't complaining. It was just like they didn't know. They were like, I just don't know what to do with myself, man. It's like I've just been making so much money at these cons lately. It's just like I don't know what to invest in. And like that's a fair thing. Or you're just like, okay, that's cool. You got a lot of money. You're trying to invest in stuff, but it's like you weren't asking for my opinion about what to invest in. You were simply stating, I have so much money. I've been doing so well. And it would be okay if he brought it up like once or twice. It's not a big deal. Should be happy that you're doing well. But and I was rooming with there were four of us in the room, all right, and we were like some mean girls. We were texting each other like, "The fuck is wrong with this guy? Can you talk about anything else?" So fetch, like we were hella mean girl, but he did it to himself. Think about investing in gold. Just like, all right, cool, man. I'm gonna be drawing tonight and working. You go and do that. I got my little Morpho book here with me. Gonna be drawing out of this for the next 5 hours tonight while you sleep and play your video game on your computer. And I'll see you in the morning. Do you still have Shiba? I got rid of all of mine. I just did it. My friends and I just did it for fun, and we were just like, okay, the moment you get like, the moment you go like plus 100, you have to pull it out. Let's see who gets there first. Like we're anyway. I got rid of all of mine, and I went plus 600, and I was just like, all right, cool, I'm done. My friends stayed in a lot longer, and I didn't follow up on them. I didn't follow up on what happened. They got like really caught up in it, which it's fun, right? So I don't blame them for getting caught up, but I was just like, I'm done. Like I looked at my thing and because I hadn't looked at it for a while, and I was just like plus 600. Like, all right, I'm out. Bye. So you see how this gray lavender is working on everything? Wait till I go over the warm colors with it. It looks great. And not gonna lie, you guys have seen me use this color before. BV23. It just works with everything. None of this will matter when we're all none of this none of this will matter when I'm a famous singer. Shit. Wow. Staying dry. I can't use the chisel tip on the warm areas as shadow because it's too aggressive. I need the ink to bleed into the brush tip to give me a little bit more control. All right, so I'm gonna have to head out in like a minute. I've kind of run out of time. My wife, like I mentioned, kind of needs my help. I, I brought that up like half an hour ago, so I need to make sure she's like still alive. No, but so I'll be on about another 2 or so minutes. If you have any questions or whatever, just go ahead and throw them at me now. Again, appreciate everyone for hanging out. Um, you guys just none of you understand just what it's like to carry so much success and talent that like yeah. Yeah, I'll be at AX this year. So you know how AX is traditionally you enter in the left side of the convention, right? You enter left side is the first row of the artist alley, up down, up down, up down, up down, up down. Um, they have completely doubled the size of the artist alley, so the entire Kensha Hall downstairs, the parking lot, the entire thing's artist alley. I am on the new side, the complete right side entrance. So where you normally enter on the left, I'm on the other side, the right, but I am in that first lane on the right hand side. Yeah. So I will yeah, so you can kind of see where I'm going to go with this, right? So uh when I finish shading all of it in, the thing that's really going to bring it together cuz it looks a little washed out right now. The thing that's really going to bring it together is going back over it with the multi-liner. So I use the 03. When I go in and add the details, I'm going to go in with a 05. So we're going to really thicken up the line work, and then that's how it always is. It's going to bring it all together. So thank you guys for hanging out. This was really fun. I'm going to leave all this here because it's not done yet. All right, everybody. I have to go carry all this. I'm going to go invest in some gold, okay? Next time you guys see me, I'll let you know how it goes.